All right. We are back again live for another one. So today we're talking about the secrets. Whoa. The secret to success nobody teaches you. Upgrade your mental software. I feel like I should be a little closer to over here. All right. Um, so yesterday we talked about some questions, right? Some questions that you should ask yourself. And based on those questions, they'll give you a better understanding of yourself. Now, if you weren't here for that, just go back to the previous video, the previous day. I show up here at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And if I didn't say my name, which I never do, but I'm better at it now, my name is Emmanuel Velasco. And sometimes I say some outlandish shit. But a lot of the times I've been through some fires, some wars that taught me a lot of information. And so through these pieces of struggles and these hardships that weren't struggles because it depends on how you see it, which is a mind game. And so based on how my life was, everything aligned itself perfectly for me to be here right now talking to you and giving you the information. So was it really a struggle, a hardship when all these takeaways got came about it, and now I'm able to use those as information pieces that I get to drop these golden nuggets on you? Well, I would say that it depends on your perspective. And with that being said, we're going to grab this book, Meditations. I'm also live on this other computer, and that's where my screen is being shown. But we have here Meditations. And so we're going to say the famous quote: if someone can prove me wrong and show me my mistake in any thought or action, I shall gladly change. I seek the truth, which never harmed anyone. The harm is to persist in one's own self deception and ignorance. So remember that. For when you want to criticize me, I'll take it. I will only take the good criticism, though. I'm not going to take the bad one. And now, with that being said, let's slide this over yonder a little bit. Um, so let's get into it. So here we're talking about how I created a better perspective. One of the most valuable lessons that I've learned is by changing my perspective, I've changed my life. Now, let me explain this. Because as I just showed you a little bit, when you change how you see things, it's only bad if you see it that way, right? There's this, I like anime. And so there's this anime, is called One Piece. And with this anime, there is this one scene, they're pirates, right? So they're traveling to different islands. And so when they arrive at this certain island, it's cold. Everybody else in the crew is wearing jackets except the captain. And so the captain, Luffy, he's not wearing a jacket. And so he doesn't even realize that it's cold until somebody points it out. And I believe it was Nami who points it out, who was like, aren't you cold? Cold, what are you talking about? And instantly, when that thought hit the mind, he became cold. But up to that point, he was not cold a single bit. So, in this reality that we live in, based on how we see it, we could literally change it in an instant just by our perspective and our sight. So remember that. So everything is based on how you see it. For example, a car accident. Now I explained this the other day, the car accident scene. But let me explain a different scenario that was real life. So there was a car accident. And so this car accident changed the trajectory of everything. Now, at the time, the car accident is bad because there's so many financial uncertainties. These situations come up where it's like, well, we need a car to get there, and so now the road is a little harder. You gotta plan things a little bit better. You gotta figure it out more, right? It's a little bit more challenging, but you figure it out. And through those trials and tribulations, it caused you to slow down for the first time in a long time. And because you took that step back to be able to see everything, then you got a clearer picture. And so that clearer picture helped you to see this point of view where, oh, okay, what I was doing was wrong. Like I was wasting my talents doing this. Like I wasn't meant for, let's say, the W-2. I wasn't meant for delivering packages. And so I was meant for more. But I wasn't able to see that until I stopped, and I was forced to stop, right? And now I had a better point of view. And now this massive business became a thing because of what? That one moment that seemed bad, negative, but it changed everything. And there's many different moments like this that literally just once you see it, you can't unsee it. And now you see it forever with clarity. And so if you're able to stick into the flow and stay there, that's the most powerful thing. And so here's how I created a better perspective. One, I started switching my negative experiences into positive experiences. So everything that you see, right? We could either accept it or not accept it. It's literally up to you. So what if, your tire falls off, you're not able to get to work, now you have this car issue. But then because this person came to help you and you spoke to them, as if like they know you went through this trial, this whole traumatic experience of your tire falling off. But when they come to you, they're like, oh my God, this man has such an incredible energy. This person has such an incredible vibe to them. And even though they had this negative experience, they're talking about it positively. And so, like, the first thing that said, oh man, like my day is going pretty rough. My tire fell off, as you can see. But hey, I got to meet you because you stopped right here. And I'm sure this connection would never happen unless my tire fell off. So, hey, how you doing? My name's Emmanuel. Shake your hand, whoever the person's name is, right? And then in that instant, you gain a friend for life, maybe. Maybe that's that business partner that you've been looking for. Maybe that's that investor that is like, oh my God, this guy has such a great perspective here, and he's looking to do this. Yeah, I want to support that vision. But what happens if it was a negative experience? And so you stop over this guy's, just cursing up a bunch of words of congratulations for his stuff messing up. And so he goes about it. And then you're like, okay, like, I'll do what I can, bud, but I can't really help you much. All right, whatever, man. Boom, drives off. But that could have been the connection of a lifetime. So based on how you see it is how you get it. Oh, this is setting me up for something. What if this is the setup for you to have a different experience in life? Right? I never forget my wallet. And so this one time I forgot my wallet. And so because I forgot my wallet, I couldn't make it to work on time. And so I was like, all right, well, gotta cancel the shift. Well, thank God, because who knows? I canceled my shift for a reason. Like that all happened for a reason. Because if maybe I go on the road and then, right there because of the timing, a big accident happens. It's a pileup. And now instead of avoiding it because I forced it, I'm in it, right? But you never know. And so two, and there's only three things now. There's a lot more, of course, than this, but there's only three things on this list I have here. Now, two is a big one, right? Two, I started changing the words that I use. Now, this is a key because when we use words, we're spelling, right? So we're telling spells. So when you're speaking, you're actually casting out a spell because before it comes out your mouth, you have to think it. And before you let it out, you have to feel it. So you think it, you feel it, then it comes out. So there's two powerful things that happen. There's a confirmation, and then the third confirmation is you speaking it or writing it down. So instead of I'm spending money, if you spent it, is it gone, right? Man, I'm spent. I don't have no more energy left. I'm spent. I can't lift a finger. I'm spent. That's the same word you're using for your money. I'm spending it. Oh, it's gone. I'm spending it here. My money is spent. It's gone, right? And so instead of saying that, I circulate money, right? Because circulation, money is a movement, right? And if it's in circulation, it comes back. And usually when you circulate it happily, right? It's about doing it willingly and with grace. It's being happy about it. It's not being like, oh, here's another bill I got paid. Oh man, I'm exhausting all my resources. Right? We don't say that. We gotta switch our words. And I used to say these words. Now, again, I'm not above any of this stuff. So I used to say these things. Okay. Now, instead of why me in the situation, it's more so why not you? What I've realized is all the challenges that we face, if we weren't up to the task, we would never have that challenge. So we could either fall to it or we could rise to the occasion. Because in all actuality, we ask for this. Maybe long ago, you're like, hey, I want to be a race car driver. And you're driving, you're racing, and then boom, you get into a wreck and your car is totaled. And now you're like, ooh, I don't know about this racing stuff. Well, you asked for it, right? So of course, like there's going to be trials along the way that test you to make sure that this is something that you truly want. And so if it's not something you want, okay, now you know. Like that's why the trial was there to let you know, like, okay, you gotta push a little harder. If you're willing to push harder, you'll get it. But you gotta push a little harder. Are you willing to do that? And if you are willing to do that, then guess what? You just proved yourself in the test that okay, this is for you. You could prove yourself right, you could prove yourself wrong. And regardless of the matter, you're right in either way. Because nobody could change your mind except for you. Right? So it's why not me? Why not? Like, why not give me the shot? Like, put me in that tough situation. Like, let me figure it out. Right? Why not? Okay, I can't. So I can. There's no such thing as I can. There's, you know, there's either you will or you won't. That's it. Right? A major one. This is one that I hear a lot. I used to say it a lot too, and now I notice it. And if you hear me say I try, it's a funny word. So I'll try, right? Try is such a great word because trying leaves it open for you to not do. I attempted. Look, I attempted to put the battery in this thing. It didn't work. So, at least I tried. Can you figure it out? No, it's like you either do or you don't. Is it a priority or is it not? Because if it's a priority, you'll make it work. It's like a lot of people need to use their car to get to work. So they're willing, more than willing, to fix the car, even though it's a hassle and whatever the bill costs, right? They're like, I need my car. I can't be without my car. So they'll fix it, right? So it's more so I'll try to do it, or are you going to just do it, right? On some Nike shit. And so I want, that means that you don't have it. Everything in this world is already yours. So if you want it, why you want it? Because it's yours already. Like you have it. So switch that to I desire. I have a desire for this. A desire is more powerful, right? It's more mesmerizing, if you will. Desire. And like that song. You got desires? I know. I know. Me too. I got desires too. And so switch your words. Your words are powerful. So whether you know it or not, you could either speak life or you could be speaking death upon somebody. It just depends on the words that you're using. And you might not truly understand what you're saying at the time because you might be saying it, but you don't actually know what you're saying. Because I could be like, hey, here's another one, right? I don't have this one written down. That's why I say there's so much more. Here's another one. What if I go to my wife and say, hey, babe, I love you, but you didn't, sweep the floor. And then I say, okay, you know what that but did? Negated everything I said before that. And what did I say before that? I said, babe, I love you, But so I don't love her. I just want her to sweep the floor. That's why I just said. Is that what I meant? Probably not. But I said it. So based on my words, that's why I chose to use. So then that's why I said. Now that I know that, okay, I can't use those words. I can't but nothing unless I'm being funny about it, right? In the sense of, yeah, we'll do that deal, but so I ain't doing that deal, right? Now you can use words better, right, and control your tongue better. So see, there's a tongue where you could curse up a storm, right, or you don't have to curse up a storm. It just all depends on how you see it. All right, one of my favorite words right here. Impossible. Oh my God, this is impossible. Do you know how incredible impossible is? I actually have a thing here. So let's use it, shall we? We'll just wipe this down with some fingers. It'll be a little bit messy. I'm sorry. But look, let's write this down. Impossible. This is an incredible word, right? Impossible. One of the only words that I actually do know how to spell, right? So impossible is such a great word because that's inverted. That's nasty. Because when you do impossible, right? You slice it right here. That's why I left the space purposely. It actually means I'm possible. So is anything in this world actually impossible? Um, I would think not. There's no such thing. There's only such thing as impossible, not impossible. There's no impossibilities in this world. And so if you fuck with that, for real though, when I heard that one, I was like, ooh, this is a good one. Um, and so there's no impossibilities. There's only possibilities. But you never saw that way. So everything for you was actually impossible when it was inviting you in to take the challenge because you're actually possible. And so that's the final iteration, if you will, of number two, right? This was just number two. Now, three, I changed my outlook on life into a more optimistic light. Maybe there's hope for me. I don't know why I wrote there, honestly. I changed my outlook on life into a more optimistic light. Maybe there's hope for me. Okay. Whoa, my words. So again, how you see it, right? If you change how things come across, your whole reality switches. And so the amazing part is like it's up to you. How you see it is what you get. So if you choose that you guys do steps one, two, three, all the way until step 1,000, those are the exact steps that you're going to have to take. But what if I told you there's only three steps that you need to take in order to get to what you want? But you were thinking there was 1,000, right? So how you see it is how you get it. And it's there's a quote: "As a man thinketh, so is he." So what is you thinking? What is in your mind? Because as you think, whatever you feed this mind is what becomes. So you got to be very, very cautious on what you are actually feeding into your mind, because you might be feeding into your mind something that is just going to destroy you. And so, do you know that? Some people don't know that they're destroying themselves from within. Some people actually do know they're destroying themselves, but they're like, I don't care. It's about I'm here for a period of time, so I'm gonna enjoy myself. And that's maybe the outlook that, sure, the YOLO, I guess, but at the same time, no. And remember, but is a key word, so realize how I used it. And so the game is that your words are spells, and are you giving your spells correctly to the people, to yourself, to the universe? Because the way you speak it out loud is what is, right? And before that happened, it already is, because two have to agree before that happens. You have to first go and think it, right? And a thought travels around twice, the world twice, before it hits you. Bling, right? And then you have to have a feeling about that thought. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. And so if you like it, then you're like, shit, that thing looks nice right there. What did I just do? A third thing, I spoke it, right? And so the power in your words is incredible. And you got to be very cautious about how you articulate yourself and what you say. So if you've enjoyed this video about what I'm talking about, this mindset stuff on the secret to success nobody teaches, upgrade your mental software, which is your words, upgrade your vocabulary, because you don't have to upgrade it necessarily. You have to understand the vocabulary that you're using already, because most of us don't understand actually the words that we're saying. And even there's many words that I still don't understand, right? And so it's a continuously, you're continuously learning this process. And so as you learn things, then you have to make sure you tweak it accordingly. If that word is no longer good, don't use it. Use a different word, right? And so with that being said, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, you like, comment, share, and make sure in the description box below you check that out, because there is a link there that leads you to a community that I am actually the owner of, Unschool. I learned it from the internet is the name of the community. And all these slides that I'm going through right now that are talking about this stuff are down in the description box below. And so you click that, join the community, and you'll be able to see all this content plus more, plus get access to me. So if that sounds like something you're about, click below. And if not, stay tuned for tomorrow, where we talk about a little bit more about what we talked about today, because this is actually a longer series than probably a lot of people understand it to be, because it's a life game. Even if I stop right here, this is a life game. So keep going. Remember that. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time.